Hey, it's McGuire with Ray Cullen Chevrolet. Today I wanted to take a look at a 2024 Buick Envision. This is in smoky Amherst metallic. Very interesting color, but it looks really nice and very similar to that Stardust metallic on the 2025 Chevrolet Traverse. Let's take a quick walk around. Come around the side with me. You'll be able to tell that this vehicle is an Avenir based off the 20-inch rims. Also, all of the chrome surrounds. You're gonna have your blind spot assist and surround vision built into the mirror. Keep coming this way with me. You will have keyless entry on all four doors with this little chrome piece. I actually really like it. I think it helps the the door handle stand out. Something that I find is really funky. I'll be honest, it's a little bit tough to figure out every time. But if you kick underneath, it will open up for you. Let me try that one more time. There we go. So then it will open up. It's nice if you're holding on to a couple things. It'll pop straight up for you. Then you get lots of room in the back with your spare tire underneath. You are able to drop the rear seats from the second row to give you more space as well. And then this divider will also come out if you need extra storage. Obviously, being the Avenir, it's the top of the line model. Another thing I wanted to comment on the rear here is these headlights. I really like the design, how they come all the way across actually into the tailgate, and you see your Avenir below that. When you continue coming around the side, again, you'll be able to see those Avenir logos all around, and it does have surround vision. I'm gonna get my camera lady to hop in the car, and I wanna point out some interior features. So now that we are on the inside of the Avenir, as soon as you get in, you can feel the premium feel in the quality that the vehicle has. Even when you close the door, it's a heavy feel. It makes you feel that you truly are in a high quality vehicle. So we'll start with the infotainment screen, starting on the side that you'll be playing around with the most. Something that I always like is this camera feature. It's the easiest way to see what's around you. You get your surround vision on one side, and right now it has the forward facing camera. The forward facing camera is really ideal for when you are trying to park and you want to make sure that you don't go over the curb. It's a great way. Then you can flick through and see all of the different views, which is great. And these views right here are actually down the side of the car, which I'll touch on in a little bit, where the pedestrian and also the bike alert will notice you. So even if you turn the vehicle off for up to 2 minutes, the vehicle will alert you on the side of your screen right here that there is a bike coming. It's a great way if you live in the cities or downtown Toronto for you to make sure that you don't have a biker kind of fly by you as you are opening the door. Coming out, or before we come out of the cameras, you do have an option to turn your rear auto brake off and your parking sensors off. I always recommend to leave them on. Something really interesting about the rear park assist is something funny that we used to use at the dealership quite a bit is when you're moving the car, if someone gets right in the way, the car will automatically brake on you, and it's a pretty cool feature and a great safety feature. Then you do have built-in maps. Right now, as this is in demo mode, the map won't load for us here, but you do have it. Then you've got your audio controls here, whether or not you're on AM, FM. If we click onto it and make sure that we don't have any audio on right now, if this is your favorite station, 87.7, if you hold down here, that'll auto lock so that every time you get in, your favorite radio station is playing automatically. I know for most people like me, we don't play the radio station anymore. We're immediately having our Apple CarPlay Android Auto come on, and I'll get in how to use that in a second. Then when we move over one, you're gonna have your climate controls. You do have physical buttons down below, but it's always nice to know that you have the ability to see it digitally as well. And that's where you can control more of your heated seats, control the exact fan volume, etc. Then you have the ability to control your ambient lighting, your Play Store, Google Assistant, and settings. Settings is something that I think you should be familiar with. Once you click on the icon, I always like to go to vehicle. This is where you're going to get to see all of the different safety settings that are currently on. So right now we do have buckle to drive on, and then if you click collision detection systems, this is where you're going to have alert type, automatic emergency braking, intersection, let me scroll back up, intersection collision, which is something really good, which also ties into automatic reverse braking. When you're reversing out of a parking spot, the vehicle is looking on both sides of the vehicle and will alert you if you have someone coming in and will brake for you. Remember that side bicyclist alert that I was telling you about? That is where you have the option to turn it on or off. I always recommend leaving it on. I think the safety features are something that you should never turn off. As we keep coming down, remember that rear cross traffic braking? That's what I was just talking about, and you do have the ability to turn that from braking and alert to just braking or off. As I said before, I think you should always leave it on. Going out of the settings icon, another screen that you do have access to is if you just swipe here, it's going to give you some more information. Like if this was connected to your My Buick account, this is where you would be able to go through your owner's manual if you have any questions. It's a great way to shortcut within it versus pulling your owner's manual out. So that's something that I really like that Buick does have. And then you do have your ability to connect your phone. On the left side of the screen here, you're gonna have a whole bunch of shortcuts. So you have your shortcut to bring you back to home. You can split the screen, which is something that I really like. I use it more when I have my Apple CarPlay Android Auto up. Then you have a shortcut to your audio, your maps, and then your phone. As I've gone through this before, to connect your phone, all you have to go to is manage phones and then add a device. It's gonna walk you through the instructions, exactly what you have to do. You're gonna open your phone settings, go to Bluetooth, turn Bluetooth on, and then select Buick 9506. That will then put a password on the screen here and a password on your device. Then you can connect the two. Before we move over to the screen in front of the driver here, I want to just come down and touch on your heated seat. So you're able to control your heated and ventilated seat for the driver and passenger from right up here. Then before we move on, I just want to jump and show you that the rear passengers do have heated seats on the outside two seats, which is something that I find really nice. So your kids won't be fighting over who gets to sit in the front seat so they can have a heated seat. When you come down from the screen, you're gonna have all of your climate controls. So as I said, you get the screen, but you also get physical buttons, which is really nice when you're driving. You don't want to be playing around with a screen to be able to get to your climate controls. Then as you continue to come down, you're going to have your wireless charger with your cigarette port and then USB and USB-C. I always say if you have a USB cable at home, no need to go out and buy the newer technology for USB-C. But if you're looking at a new cable, I always recommend getting a USB-C. It's just newer. And then also for all of you audio listeners, if you want the highest possible quality to get the most out of these Bose speakers, having your phone plugged in playing the audio will be a higher quality than the Bluetooth. That's just what's happening right now. Then you get a nice premium feel button with this piano black trim all throughout. I always like to leave it open because I'm gonna lay my phone here. As you continue to come down, you're gonna get your two nice large cup holders, a little bit of a change holder, and then you actually get a physical audio button, which I find is really nice. And then you can click it to just mute the audio. Another thing that I like is I'm not always a big fan when the center console opens up like that. So you get the ability to, there we go, open it up just like that, giving you more room to reach in versus having the large one that opens all the way up and then it closes down. And it's quite a nice feel for your elbow here with the high quality leather that it has. Moving over to the screen in front of the driver and the driver steering wheel, you're gonna have all of your phone settings and your ability to change this screen here on the right side of the steering wheel with your heated seat. something that I like to jump to is just clicking this button where you can flick through all the different screens. Something that I really like is you're still gonna have your speedo on the left side, so that will never go away. And you can flick through and see built in with your adaptive cruise, which I'll get into in a minute, back to your speedo and all the way through. So it's nice that you do get a handful of different options as well. And then if you want to flick through your different radio stations without taking your hand off the wheel, you can do it right from the right side of the wheel. You are going to have a paddle shifter on both sides as well, with the right side being a higher gear and the left side being a lower gear. And then, as every Buick, GMC, and Chevrolet has, you've got your volume control and then your channel changer on the left side. Coming over to where you see, to the left side of the steering wheel, you're gonna have all of your cruise control settings with that adaptive cruise button, which I love. So I'll first touch on your cruise control. To turn it on, you're gonna click the cruise control button. To turn it off, you're gonna click the button that looks like it is canceled. And as you come down, you're gonna have your adaptive cruise. So the Buick has a really nice description of what it looks like. I'm gonna click that again, and I'm gonna increase it to 3 bars. Let me go back to 3. You can see it's really actually physically showing you the distance that it's away from you, and it's something that I really like. And it is an incredible system. It also does have your lane keep assist built in, which I have physically on the buttons on the left here. It'll be a little tough for you to see, but you have your different buttons like auto stop start off. I always like to turn it off. Your lane keep assist. And then if you take a look at the screen now, I can flick through different modes. So we have touring, all-wheel drive, sport, and then off-road. I think 99% of the time you're just gonna leave it in touring, depending if you're looking for more of a sporty drive. This also does have GM or Buick's dual clutch transfer case, a part of the 4-wheel drive transmission here, so that when you're in touring mode, it is truly front wheel drive only, so you won't be still powering the rear wheels to get that better fuel economy. And then you will have your physical parking button, which I like as well. I don't like the step on the ground as much. Coming over to the left side of your door panel here, you're gonna have your different memory settings. So if you and your partner or you and a friend drive the vehicle quite a bit, we can set you as 1 and then the secondary driver as 2, so that every time you get in the vehicle, it's gonna be the exact way you like it. Coming up to this massive panoramic sunroof, as you can see, we have it partially closed right now. If I push one finger of the button, you don't have to hold it. It's gonna open all the way up for you. I find it's really nice letting in a lot of light to the cabin, and it makes it feel much wider and open. You won't be able to see, but I also do have my heads-up display, which is something that as soon as you have one car with heads-up display, you won't be able to live without it. And the last thing I want to comment on today is this new shifter here has been a bit of an interesting change for a lot of people, but it's really easy to use once you get used to it. All you have to do is put one finger on the back and then pull down, and that puts it in drive. Same thing to put it in reverse, towards you and up, and that's right in reverse. And then you get a nice easy touch to go right into park. It makes the usability of this vehicle really nice, and you don't lose any of your storage. Plus, for anyone who brings a small bag or a purse with them, you have a little bit of storage underneath here. I know it's hard to show on camera, but it's quite nice. And I'm sure my passenger is loving the heated seat right now. So if you have any other questions, contact me down below to book a test drive in a 2024 Buick Envision.